Jimmy McNulty just finished up what many would consider to be the greatest statistical career in college football history. He shattered not only the single season but career interception records in college football, but his career was marred by multiple disputes with coaching staffs that led to him repeatedly being benched despite his great on-field performances. In terms of athletic ability, Jimmy should be a top 5 pick in the NFL draft, but unfortunately his college coaches have been bad-mouthing him to any NFL scout that gets within earshot. In this video, we're going to play through the combine to see where he can get drafted, and also play through his entire rookie season. Let's go ahead and get into the NFL combine. Alright, so first up we got the 40-yard dash, and as y'all have seen, Jimmy is one of the fastest players in the country, so he should be able to do pretty well. We are going to get a 4.31 on this. I will take that all day. Great start to the combine for Jimmy. Okay, now we got the bench press. I don't know if Jimmy's strong like that, man. He wasn't that much of a tackler in college. We'll see how he does on the bench press here. Looks like he's gonna get 10 reps. That's not great, but I guess they're gonna give us an A grade for that. Okay, next up we got a little broad jump. I'm just mashing this damn button and Jimmy's gonna jump an 11'4". I don't know how good that is, but it looks like it was actually top of the draft class, so we're getting A's on everything so far, which is big because we get a +5 boost to whatever stat is used for the drill. Yeah, all of these drills are pretty much the same from Madden 25, which is okay. I feel like honestly the Madden Superstar mode is really solid. There's not necessarily a whole lot I want to see changed. I really had fun with the mode last year, and Jimmy is just going crazy on this combine. This should help offset the bad things the coaches have been saying about him. So after all that, they got us projected as a mid-first round pick, and here we go, NFL draft. Jimmy's getting a call from the Falcons, and with the number 15 pick in the NFL draft, Jimmy is headed to Atlanta, following in the footsteps of many great cornerbacks before him. It's definitely clear that Jimmy's character issues affected his draft stock, but going in the mid-first round as a cornerback still isn't bad at all. So it looks like Jimmy's actually going to be starting at cornerback 3, which is kind of interesting. Normally they just start you out at cornerback number 1. So it looks like we're going to have to try to dive into these practice drills and gain a little bit of coach trust. It looks like all we're doing in this one is trying to sack the quarterback, which kind of seems like a weird drill for Jimmy to be doing. Also, why do we have our starting quarterback just taking sacks in preseason training? That one wasn't too interesting. Looks like we got the silver medal, and that was able to get us just a little bit more coach trust. And here's our chance to really prove it. Preseason game taking on Detroit. This will be Jimmy's debut. This is my first time touching cornerback on Madden 26. I don't know what to expect, but we're playing man coverage, seeing a corner route, and Jimmy is all over that, getting a pick on the first drive in his preseason game. And I think that's a sign that this is about to be a very promising career, locking up Detroit's star receiver. Really couldn't have asked for a much better start to the preseason. Still got a little bit more work to do to get up to cornerback 2 though, and man, it really looks like they overhauled Superstar mode in this game. Madden 26, not gonna lie, first look, looking really good. It looks like they've also got a system where you can choose between a drill that gets you more coach points and a drill that gets you more wear and tear recovery, so that's kind of cool as well. So far, I would say the drill themselves have been a bit disappointing though. I wish they were more coverage focused because just running through little circles on the field really isn't that fun. But Jimmy was able to earn gold in his second practice. And we got another preseason game. I'm trying to see another pick in this one. And I can already tell teams love to run this corner route just like they did in Madden 25. We're going to get a lot of picks off of that. Lots of lockup coverage from Jimmy so far. We're trying to bait up this Crowe route here, and Cam Ward scrambling a little bit and actually throwing it our way. We've got a chance at a deflection, and that was almost a cheap pick. Okay, 3rd and goal. Jimmy's just playing a little cloud flat against this tight end, and the Tennessee Titans going to go over the middle and get the touchdown. Our defense did kind of get stepped on that drive. No idea overall how good this Atlanta team is going to be, and trying to get a block here, we're actually going to get a tackle on the running back, which is good to see. Jimmy really had a tough time tackling in college, so I'm really hoping that he can improve that in the NFL, and oh, I thought we baited up that flat route. Unfortunately, Cam Ward is just totally frying our secondary, and he's going to scramble here. I was hoping he'd throw it to us on the outside, but the Titans are kicking our butts in this preseason game. Alright, hopefully we can see some picks in the second half at least, and oh my god, Jimmy, can we get off this block please? I read that play really badly, but we are eventually going to get the tackle. Jimmy's 3rd of the day, and that'll do it for our 2 quarters in that game as the Titans just completely lit us up. Got 3 tackles, but we lost like 31-7. And okay, this time in practice we've actually got like a DB drill, but they're doing this thing where they just zoom the damn camera out so much. Like, why are they doing this? Okay, 3rd and I believe final preseason game. We got to go crazy in this one and trying to bait up this little Crowe route. We will get a tackle early on, but give up a catch. On 3rd down, we're going to play man coverage and bait up, and man, we've strapped this up. They got to throw us this corner route again, man. I'm trying to get another pick. Alright, Cowboys have been driving it, but we got a 3rd and goal, time to lock up. And Jimmy's just got this hook curl zone, playing some great coverage, making sure that crosser doesn't get open, but they got a guy on the other side. Is this defense just trash? And we got a 3rd and inches here. Looks like they switched us to man coverage at the last second, and oh no, this could be bad. I wasn't able to get to my guy pre-snap. They're gonna throw it up to us, but thankfully we get the pass breakup. Okay, and we're gonna get one more drive before halftime. I'm gonna need nothing short of a pick here. Looks like Dallas is actually gonna pass it, and just going with a little swing to the running back, we're on that for the tackle. I'm pleasantly surprised with Jimmy's tackling so far, and with just one play left before halftime, Dallas is trying to get a scramble going. Dak Prescott running for the end zone, but Jimmy flies in to stop him, and that's gonna do it for the half. Okay, so we weren't able to get another interception, but that was a solid game. Couple tackles and a deflection for Jimmy, and we met our coach objectives. So unfortunately, after the preseason, Jimmy's still in a backup role. Looks like we're gonna have to keep on working to get on the field full time. We gotta keep on grinding in these drills, and I hope they keep on giving us the DB battle because Jimmy is of course elite at this. So we get gold on the drill. Coach, please put Jimmy on the field. Come on, man. One of my hot takes about these modes is I really don't like to actually spend that much time trying to get on the field. I just want to play the game, and we'll see how much time we get against Tampa Bay. And Jimmy didn't get on the field to the 3rd quarter. That's actually wild, but here in man coverage on his first play, they're going to come his way on the fade ball, and we are on that. Give me that. The first official pick of Jimmy's career was a beautiful one as we just lurked up Baker Mayfield, read his eyes perfectly, and there's no way they're not going to give us playing time after that. But nonetheless, Jimmy's staying off the field all through the 4th quarter, watching overtime from the sidelines as we take a loss. It looks like even in the NFL, Jimmy's coaches are going to be against him. So in game 2, we're taking on the Vikings on the road. Looks like this time we're going to come in the 2nd quarter. And I do love that there's different scoreboards in Madden this year. That's kind of fun. And coach wants Jimmy to win some press battles today. That's not normally my style, but whatever it takes to get on the field, and we're going to lock up there. And press might be pretty good low key. We're going to do it on this down as well. And once again, locking the receiver up. I don't know if that's best for baiting up picks though. Vikings are putting a nice drive together though. Got to lock up on the goal line, and they're just running it to the outside. We're going to fly in and help out with the tackle. Give me that. Okay, 3rd and goal. Let's see. We're in this outside zone, but it looks like they're all running to the other side, and quarterback's going to scramble. Jimmy's going to have to hunt him down, and he just slides at the goal line. What a weak move, bro. I'm honestly glad that Jimmy didn't have to make that tackle though. He's normally not great at one-on-one tackling, and that's not really the only time on the field we're going to see all day. That's actually crazy. Give Jimmy a chance, coach. At least we got some coach trust, I guess. And okay, that actually looks like it earned us the cornerback 2 job, so he should be a starter now. So Jimmy will take the field as a starter for the first time against the Panthers. We'll see what kind of impact he can make today, and starting out in zone here, he is getting blocked to all hell, but the running back's still coming his way. He's going to get a shot at a tackle and miss it. Well, it looks like they're actually going to count it as a stat for us. Okay, looking good so far, and we've got some man coverage here in the slot. Looks like Jimmy's guys running a crosser, and they're coming right to us. Give me that. It's going to be the 2nd pick of Jimmy's career already, and I'm trying to run this back, but oh my god, bro. They still haven't fixed this camera angle glitch. Listen, EA, please. This glitch, it's been in the game for 5 or 6 years. How do we not have this figured out by now? Have none of you guys played cornerback career mode? That's actually crazy, but at least we got a nice little pick. It does seem like coach wants Jimmy to play the slot just like he did in college, but so far I'm not minding it, and they're going corner route. Oh my god, we're gonna get another pick. I didn't even think I was in great position there, but Jimmy coming through with the great hands almost gets up out of there for his first pick 6 as well. And the stats are looking elite to start off the season. The transition to the NFL seems to be going well. This game's going great. It's like as soon as Jimmy steps onto the field, this is becoming a winning team. We're up 13-0 just like that, and picking up another tackle. Playing main coverage has been great so far, and looks like our dude is running a flat route here. I'm trying to bait that up, and they're gonna come our way. Oh, I just barely missed the pick 6. Was so close to playing that perfectly. We gotta lock him down here on the goal line. They're going for the 4th and goal, and we just got the flat route. I'm trying to bait that up, and oh, please throw that my way. Come on, Bryce Young. We get the sack though, and a huge goal line stop. So defense ended up playing pretty much perfect in the first half. 0 points allowed, but the Panthers coming right back at us. Gonna go to a corner route here. And one thing I'm noticing early on in this game, the coverage animations are just a little bit glitchy. A lot of corners running by receivers making catches they probably shouldn't make. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Offense gets 3 points. That should be just enough to keep this game at arm's length. And Carolina's been driving it, but this play is going to decide the game. We got a 4th down, and they're going to go to the other side. We get the swat, and that should hopefully end this game. What I want here is for offense to kill 2 minutes of clock, but leave us just a nice 30 30 seconds to get another pick. Look at that play from our linebacker, by the way. And that's pretty much exactly what we got, actually. So we can just bait up, try to get some picks, and they're coming our way here. We're not in great position, though, and that was a crazy catch from the receiver. And that did end up being our last shot, but we get a critical dub to move to 1-2. And it was an absolutely great game from Jimmy. We get an A coach rating. And next up, we got a home game. Man, look at that statue. That's kind of creepy. Taking on the Washington Commanders. This could be a tough matchup. We'll see. So far, Jimmy's been playing pretty good coverage here in the slot and main coverage. He's had a lot easier time in the NFL than in college. But they're going over top, and looks like his teammate got cooked. It's going to be a Commanders touchdown. An offense gets nothing. Jimmy's going to have to try to make a play here and staying in main coverage. They're going with a little fade ball, and yep, I'm going to bait this up. Give me that. 4th pick on the season. Jimmy's going crazy, and that should help this team get back in this game. Let's go get a touchdown offense. Jimmy is just immediately showing how impactful of a player he can be. He's more than worth his draft grade. Should have gone higher for sure. And defense is starting to get it together now. But offense definitely hasn't been great so far. Michael Penix has got to get those boys going. We continue to play great coverage though. I was hoping he'd throw that corner out. To be honest, the movement on this game feels really similar to Madden 25, which is good because I love the movement on Madden 25. But I think it might actually be a little bit easier to play corner on here than it is on college football. But getting a win in this one is definitely not going to be easy. Washington's offense is a lot harder to deal with. Getting a nice little pass break up there though. Some solid zone coverage instincts from Jimmy. He's definitely more of a man coverage player. We'll see what we get here on 3rd down. Looks like he's just guarding a slant, and Daniel's trying to take off. We need somebody to make a tackle, but nobody's home. And the Commanders are going to take a 7-point lead. We're really having a tough time with keeping Daniels contained in the run game. And he's going to read option here. Jimmy's the last line of defense, but flying in for a big hit. Sit down. Once again, that tackling ability, not really something that we saw from Jimmy in college. And trying to bait up this fade ball, Daniel's going to take off again. We cannot keep this guy in the pocket at all. He's going to slide down, and it looks like Jimmy's actually coming off the field for the goal line. So Washington gets another touchdown, but offense thankfully answers to keep us in the game. Clearly though, 1 pick and sound coverage is not enough. We need a pick 6 or something out of Jimmy. He does get a nice tackle here, and we'll have a 3rd and 4. He's manned up in the slot. His guy's gonna run a flat. Oh no, it's a wheel route. Jimmy is cooked, boys. I was getting ready to bait up the flat route. Was not expecting that at all, and it's gonna be a huge gain. We're gonna have to chase that dude down from behind. So the first blown coverage of Jimmy's NFL career. He was just playing too aggressive. And with that, we head to the 4th quarter. Need a play to make up for it here down on the goal line. Just sitting in zone coverage on 3rd down, and we should have everything locked up, but Daniel's getting away again. The quarterback scramble might just be OP in this game, and our defensive linemen aren't doing anything at all to stop it. Okay, offense gets a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. We've still got a chance. With just over 2 minutes left, we got to try to make a play. They're going to go with another QB run though, and we're going to stop them just short of the sticks. So here's our last chance. 3rd and 2. Could be a run or a pass. And a little motion. Is this a swing screen or something? Nope, it's a run to the other side, and we stack him up short of the sticks. Now it's on our offense to try to go get a touchdown. Let's see if Penix and Co can clutch up. We're up to the mercy of the sim, but sadly they can't get anything. We dropped to 1-3 on the season. Washington's QB run game was just too tough to stop. And Jimmy did have, I would say, a good game overall. Giving up that 3rd down was pretty big though. So sitting at 1-3, we desperately need to win, but taking on the 4-1 Bills, this is going to be tough. Jimmy will have to go crazy in this one. Hopefully we can get some help from our teammates this time though, and they're going the other way. Our cornerback's going to get the pick, and that should put us in a pretty good spot. All right, so 3-0 to start out the game. That's what we like to see. So a good start from this defense, but after another stop, offense turned it over. Just gifted the balls to the Bills on the goal line, and they're going to punch it in for a touchdown. Maybe our offense is kind of woken up though. They're able to get a touchdown to make it 10-7. Now we got to make a plays, boys. Come on, manned up in the slot here. I was expecting a slant route, but it looks like this is actually going to be a corner. This is Jimmy's route, but he's going to get beat, and that'll be a huge gain for the 2nd game in a row. So definitely some rookie growing pains here, a few just bad plays, and they've been pretty costly too. The Bills are going to get a touchdown, and he's going to watch from the sideline on a critical 3rd and goal as the Bills just run it to the fullback, and okay, we actually get a stop, and looks like they're going to go for it. Jimmy's back on the field for 4th down, just playing the flats and trying to maybe bait something up. Josh Allen is just going to take off though, and the quarterback scramble kills us in the red zone again. Things are looking dire headed into the 4th quarter. We desperately need a stop, but they're coming to us here up the seam, and here we go. Jimmy's going to get a pick. I was a little bit worried we were beat, but we timed the jump perfectly, and now offense has a chance to go down and win the game. All right, come on, Penix. You had a chance last week and couldn't do it. Let's see what offense has got. They've got nothing, and that's going to do it for this one. Another loss, and another game where Jimmy had a pretty bad play, but he was at least able to make up for it with the pick. Jimmy's been having a great statistical season, but if we want to stay in the playoff picture, we need to dub at the 49ers, and baiting up the out route here, he's going to get a diving pick. Let's go. I'm trying to get up, and we're not going to be able to turn it into a return, but that was maybe Jimmy's best play yet. Beautiful read and beautiful ball skills. With that start start. This game's actually going pretty well so far. Offense is doing their thing. We're up 10-0. One more big play from Jimmy could put us in the driver's seat. Gotta try to get a stop here before halftime though, and I'm baiting this flat route so hard, but dude, quarterbacks, like, just get out of the pocket when they're down here in the red zone, and our defense can't do anything to stop them. Our linebackers and linemen just aren't athletic enough. And this game's looking tight headed into the fourth quarter. Offense has gone quiet, but Jimmy guarding a little slant here, and they're coming right to him. Give me that. A second pick on the day, and this will put offense in beautiful position. Let's go. Just like that, we got a 10-point lead on one of the best teams in the NFL. Can we hold on for 2 minutes? Unfortunately, on a big 3rd and 5 play, Jimmy's watching from the sideline as Brock Purdy frantically scrambles around and somehow like throws the ball backhanded out of the back of the end zone. That was truly interesting. Okay, so can offense kill the clock here? I assume they're taking a field goal, and yep, zeros hit the clock. We finally get a dub against the 49ers, and Jimmy absolutely balled out. Only 2 tackles, but had 2 huge interceptions. Totally flipped the game on its head. So next up, we got the Dolphins, and I played this game pretty much all the way through, getting 2 interceptions, and then EA's servers went down and kicked me out. So hopefully we can replicate that performance this time around, but the Dolphins have a great receiving core, so it could be tough on this secondary. They've already driven it right down the field, and they're going to punch it in on the play action for the touchdown. And going towards the end of the second quarter, this game is not looking so hot. Miami's been basically moving the ball at will on our defense, and Jimmy hasn't really done anything so far. Just trying to play sound coverage, but there's always someone open, it seems like. And we're going to need to make some risky plays here in the second half to get back in it. I don't have a lot of faith in our offense scoring too much more, and we need something to happen here on 3rd and 6. Miami's deep in our territory, and going with some play action, they're going to go up top. We need our cornerback to make a play, and thankfully he at least swats the ball away. A pick there would have been super nice though. An offense goes on a long drive where they get absolutely nothing, not even a field goal to keep us in it. Something's got to happen soon, and this could be it. They're motioning out a guy. We're going to bait up the streak route, and the ball's coming Jimmy's way. I can't see where it's coming, but we're going to get hands on it. Not quite able to come down with the interception. They did definitely make it so that the quarterbacks put a little bit more air under the ball, and it's a shame because it feels like that was probably our shot to get back in it, especially the way Miami's just cutting up our coverage at will. At this point, the clock's running down. Our only chance would be a stop, a quick score, and an onside kick, which I don't think is happening based on our sim luck so far. We're able to get the stop, but it's too late. Offense did nothing, and Miami just had their way with our defense. Not a bad game from Jimmy, but definitely missed some opportunities. At this point, we desperately need a dub at New England, and playing in the rain here, Jimmy got a bad jump on this man coverage, but for some reason, dude didn't throw it right away, and going across the field, he chucks it at the worst time, and Jimmy is on it. This is finally going to be our first pick 6, as we will get into the end zone despite this ridiculous camera glitch. So we're off to a great start here. Hopefully this is just a nice easy game, maybe even a blowout, but New England's going up top, and so much for that. The guy who's above the depth chart on Jimmy gets torched, and it's a tie game. It looks like Jimmy is really going to have to put this team on its back for it to succeed, and staying in man coverage, he's going to box this dude up and get the pick, showing some great ball skills, and we might just have a chance to take this to the crib. Just got to outrun some big men, but we didn't quite have the angle. Still another great play. The bad news is that offense instantly turned it back over, so hopefully New England doesn't get anything before halftime. And Jimmy's up against the tight end here. They're going to go up top, and bro, we get a flag, and the Patriots are going to get a crazy catch regardless. We just got to make sure we at least hold them to a field goal here, and they're running the corner route. This is beautiful coverage from Jimmy. Please throw the ball, bro. I thought we had us one there for sure, and guarding the slant, Jimmy's going to get tried again. That's not going to go anywhere though, and New England's just going to have to take a timeout and kick the field goal as we head to the third quarter tied up. Defense is going to have to be pretty much perfect in the second half, it feels like, and Jimmy guarding a corner route. That was a beautiful route by the receiver, but Jimmy's still all over it and gets the diving pick for his 3rd of the day. Bro, if we lose this game, I swear to God, Jimmy has been doing everything he can, and yet we find ourselves in a situation where New England even getting in field goal range means the end of this game, and they're already starting to inch close. We got a chance to get a stop here on 3rd down, staying in the same zone, and I think I should have baited up that flat route more. We're going to get an incompletion though. New England will try a 55-yard field goal in the rain for the win. Come on, Sim. You've screwed us over a few times this season. Let's see what happens. Okay, looks like we're in overtime. Offense wasn't able to get anything, but we'll take it. Defense is going to have to clutch up, and with the heavy rain coming down, these receivers are seriously slipping, as there's going to be a tip drill over on the other side, and we're going to get the pick. Let's go. This is going to put offense in great position. All they need to do is get us a field goal. Let's see. Can they do it? Yes, they can. We get a big dub on the road, and Jimmy was undoubtedly the MVP, coming through with 3 interceptions interceptions, including a pick 6. Through 8 games, 2 of which he barely even played in, Jimmy's got 10 interceptions. He's putting up MVP numbers in his rookie season. But if you watch my Nick Sabaka Jr. series, you already know how hard it is to win MVP as a cornerback. So we're going to have to continue putting up crazy stats. And now we're taking on the Colts. They're coming in at 6-3, and this could be very tough. This defense is going to need to make some plays to get the dub, and Richardson trying to scramble is going to fumble the ball. Jimmy's trying to pick it up, tumbling around, but eventually gets it with one hand. Let's go. The first fumble recovery of his career. And look at him cheesing here during the team celebration. He's having a great season. We're seeing what Jimmy can do when he has a coach who actually trusts him and puts him in good positions. And we've got Indianapolis on upset alert. 13-0 feels like a solid lead, but the way the offense tends to slack in terms of scoring touchdowns, we might not get another one from them for the entire game. So we got to keep locking up, sitting in man coverage here, and we get this flat route. I wish I'd baited that up a little bit more, and they're going up top. You already know what this means. Our dude on the outside got cooked, and Indianapolis has a touchdown just like that. We got a big third down here, watching for a run. They will go right up the middle, and we get the stop. Come on, offense. Like I said, though, we can't expect too much from our offense, and that missed extra point looking kind of scary right now. All it takes is one play for Indianapolis to take the lead. It's going to need to be a big play from our defense, and we're getting a flat route here. I'm doing my best to bait this up, and Jimmy is just going to miss it. Damn it. I wasn't expecting Richardson to throw on the run so fast, and we do give up the touchdown. But it was in service of trying to make a play that needed to be made. Hopefully we get bailed out here by the sim. Come on, Penix. One time, just get us a field goal. Let's go. They get a touchdown. All right, I won't complain about them anymore. All that we need to do is stop them from getting a touchdown here. They've only got one timeout, but we're in zone coverage, and I shouldn't have bid on the hook route. Richardson is just going to float that over Jimmy. No timeouts for the Colts, though. We still got a chance. Time taking under a minute, and it's looking like a corner route over here. They go to the other side, though, and oh no. First and goal from the 2. Are you kidding me? All right, probably not going to be a run here. Let's see what we've got. Going to play the flats, and okay, curl route's open, but Richardson just runs up the middle, dives into the end zone, and that is probably going to do it for this one. But okay, we technically have a chance. If we were going to get a pick 2 on this 2-point conversion here, let's see what happens. Richardson's just running around, running in circles, and we can't get him. Pick 2 there would have been crazy, and now offense only has 24 seconds. But oh my god, somehow they got a field goal and they get a touchdown in overtime. What is going on? This offense has suddenly decided to become clutch, and Jimmy has a chance to make up for his poor coverage, baiting the zig route here, and ooh, I thought he was about to throw that. Would have been a pick 6. Now it seems we just got to keep everything in front of us and going with a little vertical play. We got a zone right there, and he knocks it out. Come on, boys, let's not choke this away again. 12 seconds. They're going from the pistol and running the ball. Bro, what is the CPU doing? Do they not have to pay attention to the clock here? Nope, I guess they just haven't fixed the clock management from the CPU. I guess we'll take it, man. We snatch victory from the jaws of defeat thanks to our offense. Probably Jimmy's worst game of the season so far. We got the fumble recovery, but that was it. And now we take on Carolina, a team that Jimmy played very well against last time. We'll see if he can replicate that performance today. Already nice little tackle for loss there on third down. The Panthers are just going to run the ball. Jimmy abandoned his gap, but he's going to get back to it and help with the third down stop. Our offense, which should be hot, is going to be in great position. And they get a touchdown. His offense turned over a new leaf, boys. And man, I love these uniforms. I might start wearing these more than the normal ones. They definitely look better than the current Falcons uniforms. The Panthers are starting to put a drive together. I've noticed they're really running the ball heavy, and we can't get off the block on that one. Hubbard's going to score easily. And suddenly, it's kind of seems like the floodgates are opening. Bryce Young is really picking this defense apart at this point. Our secondary hasn't gotten cooked this bad in a minute. No action yet for Jimmy. We got to make something happen soon, and I'm sensing a corner route coming here. I'm going to try to bait that up, but oh no, I baited it up way too much. We're not going to be able to get hands on this. It's a perfectly placed ball from Young, and Jimmy gives up a critical touchdown. And at this point, nothing short of a pick 6 is going to make up for that. This game could be pretty much over, and moving down to 4-6 will seriously hurt our playoff hopes. Hopefully they try to pass it here on third down, and that's exactly what we're going to get, trying to beat up the flat, but they have the other side wide open, and it looks like whatever that was is going to go to the house and kill our hopes at a comeback. So that turned out to be a tough one. Another really poor game for Jimmy. Didn't make much of an impact on defense apart from that touchdown that he gave up, obviously. We got to be better. We desperately need a bounce back game, and the 1-9 Saints should be a good team to bounce back against, except on their first drive they're marching right down the field. I don't know who their quarterback is, but he's throwing dimes and they're going to get in the end zone for a touchdown. And even though these guys only have one win, it looks like they might just take us down to the wire. Defense has got to step up, and thankfully we will get an interception. Won't be Jimmy this time, but we'll take what we can get. So we head to the fourth quarter of a mostly uneventful game, just barely winning, and I'm starting to get nervous. A loss in this game would almost certainly put us out of the playoff picture, and it would just be downright embarrassing, but it's looking more and more likely as this game goes on. This third down might might just decide the game, and we've got an outside zone here. I'm trying to bait up that out route, but they're going to go with the corner route, and we've got a man there making the pick, and Jimmy's teammates are stepping up big time in this game. Terrell Jr. with one of the plays of the season so far. But offense wasn't quite able to kill the clock, and defense hasn't been very good in crunch time. Hopefully that changes here, and Jimmy baiting up the flat routes is going to dive and get a pick. Let's go. The clutchest play of his NFL career so far, and that's going to do it for this game. That's the play that we've been waiting for. So we get a critical win to stay just within a hair of 500, and Jimmy is the hero, only had 2 tackles, but that interception was big. Thankfully, next up is what should be another semi-easy matchup against the Jets. They got Justin Fields, a quarterback, and he is going to put Jimmy in the ground for a touchdown here on this drive. This game's looking pretty iffy. Offense isn't doing anything. Defensively, things have been very uneventful outside of that one play. Seems like another game where we will have to rely on turnovers to win, but the Jets have been pretty careful to stay away from Jimmy, and going over the middle here, they're going to take a 2-score lead in the fourth quarter. Offense has got to help us out, but nope. Instead, offense goes and turns it over. They've just had a terrible game today against one of the worst defenses in the NFL too. 3rd and 11, this might be our last chance to get a pick. The Jets running a little motion play action and just trying to dump it off. Oh, I was hoping that would be a pick. So they're going to have to kick a field goal, but with 2 minutes left, it probably won't matter. Okay, they got a quick touchdown. If we can get another stop, they'll at least have a chance. Just got to lock up for 3 downs, and we know the run's coming. Jimmy's just going to shoot the gap and sit down the running back. These situations are always a good chance to rack up some tackles for loss. And just like that, we got the Jets to 3rd down. It's pretty unlikely that they pass it here, but you just never know. And yeah, okay, they're just going to run it up the middle. That actually looked kind of scary, but we get the stop. Can offense clutch up? We need a touchdown with a minute left. Sadly, they didn't get far, so we are going to be the Jets' 3rd win of the season. And Jimmy didn't play bad, but he also didn't make much of an impact. No interceptions today. Season's not over yet. Next up, we got the 5-7 Seahawks. A win today could maybe keep us in the playoff chase. It is looking like we'd pretty much have to run the table at this point, but if Jimmy goes crazy enough, I think we can do it. Going's been slow so far, man. On a 3rd and 7 here, we got a flat zone, and trying to guard this corner route, they don't throw it, but throwing the halfback angle, and dude is gonna fumble the ball. Jimmy's in the right place at the right time to pick it up, and he's gonna get his 2nd fumble recovery of the season, showing some quick instincts to help out with the turnover. Unfortunately, offense wasn't able to cash that in, but I'm starting to get a good feeling about this game, and Seattle going with a flat route here. We bait it up, and we're on it. This is gonna go back to the bank for, I believe, Jimmy's 2nd pick 6 of the season, and we're in business here in the 2nd quarter. Let's see if we can get another one before halftime. I think the Seahawks are going to keep passing it and going with a play action. Jimmy's guarding the slant, and they're going to throw this ball late. We get the pick, and we're going crazy in this game. 3 turnovers already, and Jimmy's going to hit a nasty juke move to get up out of there. Would have been crazy if we could have taken that to the crib, but that puts offense in great position, and they're at least going to be able to get a field goal for us. We're looking good heading into the 2nd half. I'm not trying to stop here, though. If we want to make a run in an MVP, Jimmy's going to have to keep putting up stats and sit down. Jimmy's been showing an impressive amount of hit power this season, and I feel like this is the game where he's really put all of his skills together. He's truly reaching his potential as a player, and we got to clutch up down here in the red zone. Clearly offense isn't going to help us out too much, and Jimmy's sitting in the cover 3 baiting up the deep ball, and they're coming his way. Give me that. A 3rd pick on the day, and this has become Jimmy's best game of the season. Just baited that up to perfection, and this time offense goes down and gets a touchdown. We got a nice little safety net. We can just start baiting stuff up, and I think I'm figuring out Madden 26, boys. These cover 3 zones are money, and Jimmy's gonna get his 4th pick of the day. Can we take this to the crib? We should have some blockers, but Noah Fant trying to run us down. He's just barely gonna get Jimmy on the sidelines. So we're gonna get the dub in that one, and it's hard to say that we would have won that game without Jimmy's performance. Had one of the only 2 touchdowns of the day and 3 picks to add to that. Don't forget about that fumble recovery too. And thankfully, along with the on-field performance, Jimmy seems to finally be building a decent relationship with the coaching staff. Maybe the NFL coaches just understand his play style a little bit better. And with 15 interceptions already, I would think that we're making a pretty good run at the MVP watch here. Still not seeing Jimmy's name on the list though. However, defense of the year, he's almost definitely got locked down at this point. Just gotta continue balling out as we're taking on that 8-5 Buccaneers next. And so far this game's off to a pretty good start. Somewhat uneventful, but offense did a nice job getting a touchdown early on. And for some reason in these cornerback career modes, I usually get a lot of picks off of Baker Mayfield. Hopefully this game's no exception, but oh man, I baited that up just a little bit too much. Should have just kept running with him, and that's going to turn into a touchdown. Our safety didn't help us out. Got to bounce back here in the 2nd half, and sitting in man coverage, they're going with a little seam route, and Jimmy is all over that, but can't quite make the pick. I feel like it's okay to just go for the swat in that situation though. And offense has unfortunately gone quiet in this 3rd quarter. So definitely a tough situation heading into the 4th quarter, but here on this 3rd and short, we're running a cover 2, and our boys up front are going to get a sack. Big stop stop from this defense, but offense just can't get it going right now for some reason. And at this point, it's starting to feel like that touchdown that Jimmy gave up basically lost us the game. We've got little to no hope here headed down to the 2-minute warning. 3rd and 1 here is our last chance. Feel like this has got to be a run, and they're just going to go right up the middle. Did he pick that up? Yeah, they're going to give it to him. And Tampa Bay, unfortunately, just going to be able to kneel this out. Definitely a bit disappointing following Jimmy's 4 interception performance. And with 8 losses, our playoff hopes might be down the drain. And we got a battle of the 6 and 8 teams here headed to Arizona. Offense has already exceeded their total from last week, so hopefully this is a better day. And I want to see Jimmy close out the season strong. Let's have another big statistical game in this one, and baiting up the play action here. His dude is running a post route, and Jimmy is all over that, getting the pick. His frame really came into play there as he was just able to outbody the wide receiver, and that's going to shut down a promising drive before half for the Cardinals. Defense has played pretty much perfect in this game, pitching a shutout, and offense has done their part too, as we're seeing a little C route here, and all over that. Jimmy will get a second pick on the day, and that should pretty much close this one up. So a great win there as we completely shut down the Cardinals. Jimmy actually didn't have a single tackle on the day, but played great coverage coming through with 2 interceptions. Okay, so 7 and 8 playoffs still could be possible, and we're taking on a Fringe team here in the Rams, as, oh man, we just barely missed a pick on the opening drive. The Rams are marching right downfield on this first drive, but on 3rd down, they're just going with a run, and our run defense has been pretty good. Offense has also been on a good run the last couple games. They go down and get a touchdown before halftime, so we're in a good spot here. Potential to just bait something up and try to get a pick, and they're going to the backfield. This is going to be a huge tackle for loss, and Jimmy's going to try to get in on this, flying in, and I wasn't expecting to get that animation, but it's going to turn out to be like a 14-yard loss. They just did not give bro forward progress. Will they actually pass the ball here though? Nope, just going to run it to the outside. We'll take a timeout and give offense a shot. They do give the ball right back to the Rams though, so that'll take us to the break in what's been a defensive game. We got to go have a great second half here. Feels like Jimmy's due for a pick, just got to make sure we don't give up a big play in the process, and we're running a lot of man coverage. The Rams are going to torch it eventually. We do have a big 3rd down here. Jimmy's just manned up against the slot receiver, and they're just running hitches with like a little screen. Okay, we'll take that, I guess. Not much of a play call in that situation from the Rams, but offense isn't really doing anything to help us. Defense is going to have to clutch up late in the 4th quarter, and that's a big coverage sack. Got to keep everything in front of us here and sitting in the cover 2. They're going to the flat. Oh man, I should have been on that quicker. Could have easily been a pick 6 to seal this game up. Instead, we're going to have a 3rd and 9, sticking with the cover 2, and they just go with a screen. We're going to keep the outside contained and get the tackle for loss. Beautiful defensive play from Jimmy. All right, come on offense, at least get us 3 boys. Okay, they do it, and they only leave the Rams 58 seconds on the clock. All we got to do now is seal this game up. And on 3rd and 2, Stafford's rolling out and takes the sack. A lot of times going to run off the clock here too. All right, here we go. 4th and 10 for the game. What do we got here? Looks like Stafford's just going to go to the wheel route. What are you doing, buddy? Defense locks up to cap off a great performance, and Jimmy didn't even need to get any picks, just played sound fundamental ball. That's a big one. Moving to 8 and 8 definitely gives us a shot at the playoffs as we head into our final game of the season here. A win in this final game could give us a shot to sneak in as a wild card, and we're taking on the 2 and 14 Saints, although I wouldn't say this is going to be an easy game given how last game against them went. For some reason, Spencer Rattler and this offense were actually pretty good against us earlier in the season, but they're going to a wheel route here, and Jimmy's all over it, and this has a chance to be a pick 6. We've got the perfect angle, and no one's going to be fast enough to catch us. Jimmy will strut into the end zone to crack this game open, and we are in business here in the 1st quarter. But we can't relax here. Offense turned the ball over, and the Saints have it right down in our territory, as I was hoping Rattler would throw me that out route there. I swear, man, I'm going to be so mad if we lose to a 2 and 14 team after opening up the game with a pick 6. But the way this drive is going, it looks like it could definitely be possible. Saints are going to run it to the outside here on 2nd and goal, and I'm trying to get off the block, but Jimmy's block shedding is like 60 or something like that, and the Saints are going to tie this thing up just like that. Offense was at least able to get a field goal, but we need to keep on making plays on defense and guarding the zig route. Spencer Rattler is going to come our way again, and it's going to be another pick 6. Jimmy is dominating this game so far, and he's got to be inching close to 20 picks on the season if he's not there already. This game is, of course, not over yet though. Saints are already driving it again. A 10-point lead feels pretty good, but it could evaporate quickly. Gonna hang out in a little cover 2 here, hoping to bait up the flats, but they're gonna go to the other side, and Olave breaks out of a tackle, find on the end zone. We're letting the Saints move the ball too easy. Offense was able to come out of halftime with a big touchdown though. Now we just gotta lock up, Yep, and they're going with a little C route. We're on it, and Jimmy gets his third pick of the day. Could this be a third pick six? No one's gonna catch him. Jimmy takes it into the end zone, and man, if this isn't an MVP performance, I don't know what is. Jimmy showing off some MVP dance moves in the end zone as well. That was just perfect coverage, man. Read the route from the jump, blanketed it, and dominated the receiver for the pick. We haven't gotten a lot of situations like this, but this is a good time. Up by 17 points, we can just bait up picks. And on fourth down, we're in a cover 3. They're just gonna launch this. And Jimmy was so quick to catch up to being a couple steps behind that he actually got behind the receiver a little bit out of position. We're not quite able to make the pick. Still nice play in coverage though. And offense gets another touchdown. Now we can really get hyper aggressive and baiting up the deep ball again. Rattler's gonna put a ton of air under this, but same thing. We just gotta catch up to it, and look at the ball skills from Jimmy to somehow come down with that. We got a shot at another return too. If we could turn this into a fourth pick six, that would be wild. We're gonna have to do some work though. I tried to juke back to the middle. It's not quite gonna work out. So we blow the doors off the Saints in our final game of the season. Jimmy clearly wants that playoff berth more than anything. And regardless of what happened, this capped off a magnificent regular season from him, the best we've ever seen from a cornerback since the days of Nick Sabaka Jr. for sure. Sadly, it looks like we weren't quite able to sneak into the playoffs. We were the last team out. If any of these teams would have lost, we would have had a chance. But regardless, an insane season. Jimmy won Defensive Player of the Year as a rookie. And checking out the stats, he had 32 solo tackles, 28 assists, 6 for loss, 21 interceptions, 3 deflections as well, a forced fumble, 2 fumble recoveries, and 5 pick sixes. An elite record-breaking season. So yeah, I'll see you boys in the next one. Be sure to drop a like and comment on the video. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you, and have a good one. Peace.